Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They come in off another victory a weekend ago. That ran their win streak up to 7 now.
And I think that win last week established them as Super Bowl frontrunners. They're playing with confidence and swagger, and you need that to go a long way.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Ravens, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This is taken at his 4. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. So here come the Ravens now, ready to get the football for the first time. And they will be led out by their 6'3 quarterback.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 18 carries, 75 yards.
And they love what they've got in him. He's the number 4 rusher in the league right now, so you know that you have to account for him on defense, which means you can play complementary football as well. Throw the play action, get it out to the wide receivers, because they should have some open space, because the defense will key on them.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Burns. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 yards the pickup there. Good for a Raven first. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. And he lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was hoping for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
We got this.
So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on. We know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. They run the counter. Newman. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out. Because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
A good pick up there, 26 yards.
Go. 8-3. Okay, just like that. Just shoot.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Newman. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. The numbers for him from a week ago. Charles, how do you think he ran the football?
I thought he definitely had his moments. I did think that they could have utilized him a little bit better, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him to see how they're going to use him this week.
Ready?
They'll run it now. Here's Dunbar. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Go. 10 Lobo. 56. Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Glenn looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Lopez. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
That also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Yeah, that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows the punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on third down. Back to throw here. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Burns. And they take this up near the 30 before he's taken down. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. They'll look to throw here on first down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. Three nothing after one on EA Sports. Second and 5. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 49-yard line. Going to give this time to the tailback. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. A gain of 3, second down. Here's a 2nd and 7. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 23.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
They'll drop to throw. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. This one complete to Patton. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down. Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. That play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Remember, as they try to run the ball down here, Charles, this is the number 2 rush defense in the league.
So do you accept the challenge up front? Do you get your offensive line together, get your tight end in the ball?
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown grab as the Ravens push further out in front.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. So that drive spans 13 plays, and it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Browns offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And one thing's for sure, that number 1 seed already been sewn up. It's a testament to how well these guys have played. They could lock up home field advantage with this many games still to go.
And you know what else you can do with this type of an advantage? You can plan for the playoffs a lot earlier, and I don't just mean in how you play guys or rest them. I'm talking about how you talk to your team going into the playoffs, because normally you have that conversation with them usually the last week of the season. Now you can have it earlier and say, all right, we know we're going to be at home for every game we play. I want you to take care of your tickets this way. I want you to handle hotels that way. All of those things can be out of the way, so when it comes time to get ready for the playoffs, that's all you're doing is preparing on the field and in the locker room.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Rock it.
Now a give, right side. It's Newman. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Back to throw. Glenn. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted, he's picked off at his own 47. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're tough.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42.
The competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football. That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
On 2nd down, Dunbar. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
I think it's pretty safe to say that initially they had to be thinking about trying to get into field goal range. But after that shot right there, they've got to be thinking bigger right now.
And that was probably their thought offensively. If we hit this, great. Let's go for the end zone. If not, settle for a field goal. Looks like they can try to hit pay dirt. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Well, a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Glenn. Throw left side, complete. It's Lopez. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he gets it.
And a loose football, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Here we go.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And the catch made. It's Patton. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now back to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. 36 yards on the play.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make the play on the football.
So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. They'll look to throw again. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A great play there in the final seconds of the first half as the Ravens push further out in front.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squid kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'm going to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one taken from the 7. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. A big play that time for Cleveland. 58 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. They run the counter. Dunbar down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. From 6 yards away. And the Browns get a score closer. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
They go for just one here as it's up and good. And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. The third quarter has not been kind to them. After they built that lead at intermission, they've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that is simply execution? How much of that is maybe you lose your edge a little bit because you got a lead?
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And this is picked up by the Browns. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free. Anything you can do to slow them down.
Looking left sideline, it's complete. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. 23 yards on the play. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line. Because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
They'll run again here with Dunbar. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Back of the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And yeah, points right.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Yeah, last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. That's caught inside the 20. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 49 yards.
Well, we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete. 11 more on that one and another first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They go play action here on first down. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. From 8 yards out as the Ravens push further out in front.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors. But that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. So that drive, 4 plays. And it's capped off by the Baltimore score. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Watch the curve.
On the run, Dunbar. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They're going to look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down. This quarterback now nearing the 300-yard mark with still a quarter to play. It's for nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And they brought the pressure there just right up the gut, didn't they?
Yeah, they certainly did. And, you know, when you've got so many different responsibilities as an offensive line, you got to deal with the nose tackle, the 2 defensive tackles or ends, and then...
And he's going to go down again.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
I like that, don't you?
All game long, They've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Browns with a deficit. They're trailing, but with the football here to start the fourth. Back to throw. Glenn. Over the middle, complete. That's low. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Back-to-back plays of right around 30 yards, and the field position has totally been flipped. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
And not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the fourth. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. After seeing... that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything, change it up because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
Looking to throw. Glenn. And that is incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Back to throw. Glenn. That is caught inside the 5. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. Stuff to get it done.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. A 2-yard touchdown grab as his guys are back within a single score. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter. Out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
No problem there on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Ravens heading out on offense as we look at the playoff picture in the AFC. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, and that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, you know, at the end of the day, 6 teams are going to go from each conference, and guess what? We're going to have a playoffs. But nerve-wracking for all the people involved, all the teams, because their goal is to get there. And anything less than that makes the season a disappointment. So they've got to be primed now for a big finish to their season.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. The Ravens on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 11. They'll set up a throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
And he'll go ahead and field this at the 5. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. out will come the offense as they take over. The Browns drive about to get started. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
They'll run it now with Dunbar. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits, and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 14. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up with, oh no, he lost the football. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year as they can now even this game here in the fourth quarter with the extra point.
Brandon, would you say they went from agony to elation in just a few quick seconds on that play?
Probably thought they were about to give it up in the red zone and then touchdown.
Yeah, there is absolutely no way that they drew it up and said this is the way it's supposed to be done. It just happened.
But the end will justify the means. A very important extra point there, up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the fourth. Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They run on first down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's second down now. It'll be a gain of 2, and speaking of 2s, it'll take us to the 2-minute warning. Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they search for a score to break this tie. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
It's so important to tackle well against these guys. But you and I both know that's easier said than done. When the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
And it's usually going to take more than one man to get him down, and it did right there. He'll drop to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. Clock running, about to hit 90 seconds to go in the game. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 37.
Pardon, you got to like what they're doing right there. Little by little, they're getting closer. Another good pickup.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. And they'll try the jet sweep here. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. He's going to go down immediately. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it.
Let's go. Do it.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Throwing again. Glenn. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop him with 13 seconds left to play. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Glenn. Incomplete, and we're down to 8 seconds now. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. To throw again. Glenn. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
And just a couple of scenarios here to keep in mind. One, if you want to be really aggressive, you do throw the Hail Mary and see if you can get something downfield.
What would you do?
What I would do is either hand it off inside, or more likely I take a knee and let the clock run out. Because if I'm back there trying to...
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Here we go.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field, set for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team. And that first drive can dictate the whole thing, because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Try to drop one in, but it's incomplete. 2 straight incompletions. Now the pressure's really on. Last thing you want here to start overtime, a 3 and out.
And I know that a few years ago when they changed the rules about overtime, it may have changed a little bit about how you go about things. The bottom line is when you have
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fielded at about the 28. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Browns offense trotting back onto the field. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to him, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Part 1 is done, now part 2. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. They went counter there offensively, and a couple of defenders were on skates for a second.
They certainly were, and you know what offensive linemen love about the counters and the misdirections? Sometimes you don't even have to block the defender. He can run himself out of the play if he doesn't read his keys properly.
They're going to be stopped up on this first down run. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
60 Pittsburgh.
To throw on 2nd down. Glenn dancing to his left. Now he'll pull it down. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Defense was thinking run, and they're dealt a pass of just under 20 yards. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
Now Dunbar, and he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9. But I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys, poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field.
Check tight.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Glenn, this will be caught at about the 5. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. See and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters, what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for the Browns, they continue to make their case as a Super Bowl favorite as they move to 13-1. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they'll drop to 9-5 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner.
The young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. Yeah. I just had to let you know. Yeah. Give me that work and I can sell it. I put it on the line like I ain't selfish now. The story flip if I let you tell it. Put my heart and soul in so you feel it. I ain't never faking, I'm the realest since Tupac in the prison and claiming his innocence. Currently, I'm the greatest rapper in a sense. But any currency, I'm still guaranteed my wins. This is coming from within, I stuff for real, I don't pretend. When the OG spilling knowledge, bet it's best you soaking it. I'm a prophet to them scholars, got them chakras opening. Got them fixing up their octaves, now they truly focused in. I'm seeing 2020 visions. Daily manifesting on my premonitions. Best to keep it neutral, got my own religion. The brainwash, gotta make your own decision. My word is James Bond, I stay on a mission. Coming for the top position, ain't no competition, man. Pull up in the top is missing, the opposition in. All that lane switching, this is what the game is. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's a lot of money, why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't get too bad, my bad. Yeah. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Ay. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Ay. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. Ay. I cop a car, I run it back. Go yo, then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. Hello? That's the check calling. Let me click over real quick to let my check talk it. I eat, ooh, Pac-Man, that's the way my neck talking. Right? I ain't never coming back the way the stress. You don't make no clap back when you backpack my bag, but I'm past that. But an ass back, that's cash when the money fall.
I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They've got a full half season since their last loss, winners of 8 in a row.
And you don't get on win streaks like this without your defense playing a big role. They've created quite an identity, and I know they want and expect this streak to get to 9.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, they come in after a win last week, and it had been some time since we said that. That broke a 9-game skid.
So I'm not sure if that was happiness or relief in their locker room after the last game. Let's see if they can put a second win together.
NBA season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback, D-line.
On first down, earned it, and they're able to get this one across the 35. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Let's go, D. Let's go. Check, check.
And to give this time to the tailback. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. And the Buffet boys, the O-line. Hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Back to throw. Walton. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. Well, look now at the starters on the defensive side for the Browns. They were very solid last week in the victory over Baltimore.
And it was the pass rush that really keyed their victory. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well.
On 3rd down, Herndon, and he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. He needed a yard, that's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Looking to throw. Walton. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league.
And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line.
And we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going, runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
On third down, Glenn got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 42. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for dealing out some of the throws the quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. Takes 2 to tango. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. They'll run on first down. Newman. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Lopez. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 11 more yards that go around. A first down as well. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal. We're scoreless after 1. On to the second from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football as they come up now second and goal. They'll go again from the 3 here on second and goal. Second and 3. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. From 3 yards out, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, and if you have him, you use him because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is.
Extra point attempt to come here. It's up and through to make it 7-0 Browns. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it's capped off by the Browns touchdown. is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So with the Steeler offense on their way out, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games. Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
The run there on first down gets him a yard to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
To throw on 2nd down. Walton. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Here we go. Set. 10-2 start.
On first down, Herndon. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now they'll run on the draw. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Ready. 50, plant. 58, right there. Stay with your man. Let's go.
To throw on 3rd down, Walton. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
So that last play gives them a little more space now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. They run the counter. It's Newman. He's got a 1st down and more past the 30. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17. His first carry of their 2nd drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their 1st drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They'll run on 1st down. Dunbar, and he'll get 2, maybe 3, up near the 37.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Back to throw. Glenn. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's third. Well, prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start the game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried its dress rehearsal into the game. You know, because you do practice it, you do go through it, and in this case, it is clicking exactly like they drew it up.
A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. And he'll give it here to his running back. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moved.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
Looking to throw. Glenn to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle. Going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Glenn. Forced out to his left. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So now the Browns will turn it over to their field goal unit here. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, But the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early. But if there's that special one there, I say they go get it.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's 2nd and 8. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Looking to throw. Walton. And he's got his man on the out route. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 39.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll see, an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Here we go.
Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Throwing on first down. Glenn. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Back to throw. Glenn. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. They run the counter. Newman. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Let's make you get it.
On first down, Herndon. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Operating from the gun, Walton. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's fourth down.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the one touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the third quarter. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, it makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. From 21 yards away. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, one by land, two by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that in the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, you know, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Looking to throw. Walton. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
10 logo. Hey, come on now, come on now.
They'll run on first down. Heron, and he's into the clear. The 20. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are able to cut into that deficit. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Newman. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance in guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Ready. Check, he's Mike. Watch the pass. Here we go. Get it.
On first down, Dunbar. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing. Slow them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
On first down, Glenn. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Ready up. Check, he's Mike. Big stop, D. Big stop, let's go. Ready.
On 1st and 10, Glenn. And he will find his man on the outside. Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. 2nd and 2. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. From 10 yards out, and the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
It's a big play there for the Steelers. 48 yards. Now, defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, Walton. Throw complete to Herndon. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Let's go, baby.
Sometimes I get almost mesmerized watching these runners who have great vision. You know, those eyes that carry their feet to open spaces, make people miss. I just love watching those guys go to work.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. They'll break the huddle, send 3 receivers left, 1 to the right on 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it'll set him up 1st and goal. Operating from the gun, Walton. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. From 3 yards out, and the Steelers are able to close the gap just a bit.
You always admire a guy who can go through his progressions and find the open receiver. I believe we just saw that there.
And we admire him just a little bit more when it goes for a touchdown. Point after, up and good. And that will shave 1 more off this lead. And the Browns are able to cover this one up. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the numbers. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. The bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
So they hit pay dirt on just 1 play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And the Steelers set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with a band.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Remember, throughout my career here, defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
On 4th down, Walton. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on 4th down. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter? It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. This defense, Charles, they have unraveled here in the 4th.
In a sense, it's like they're being pressed, like in a basketball game, and they just can't get the ball over half court. I mean, no matter what they do, they can't get off the field. They can't slow them down. They're just going up and down the field against them. Yeah, unraveling would be a perfect word for them.
And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them. But
and that is caught, and he has now tied the record. Touchdown.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll increase their lead to 28. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's capped off by the Browns' touchdown. This is taken at the 3. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once we were down huge.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. And it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Here we go. 60 yards. You ready? You ready?
That one looks like he'll throw here. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. First quarter, Charles, you really emphasized the importance of winning the turnover battle as a visiting team, as an underdog. They haven't forced a single turnover in this game.
And right now they're losing, so no turnovers might lead to no victory.
It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves them with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the...
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Cleveland, it's another win for them, and you wonder if they want a redo on that one loss as they sit now at 14-1. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, they drop their 11th game now on the year, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.
Tell them get about the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. championships. All my records go hard, it's a champion hit. I've been working for this moment like I've been in the gym. Jumping all over hurdles, I'm evading the pit. Hand to hear with anybody, take them, I can shake them. I invite them to the fire, then I bake them, I'ma break them. I'm a Hall of Fame legend, they should go and hang my jersey. Made to put in work, I don't think they really heard me like. Move the chains, I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get up out the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains. Ain't no stopping me, ain't no topping me. I am up, #1 seed, ain't nobody popping up. Got a squad of gorillas from the jungle suited up. We kicking off with this, we hope you ready, get it up. I be booted up, popping out a Sprinter or a truck. Whole team chasing bags while they chasing us. Calling audible, I read the game, I think it's time to switch. You get hit, if I miss, then my teammates got the blitz, yeah. Move the chains, I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get up out the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains.
Honey, I dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, man, oh deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, 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 yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. They on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Eat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big dogs, I don't think they can handle it. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerge victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, it's glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, man, oh deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash. They slept on the team that they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. It's noted in keeping it low-key. I can carve up the D like a turkey or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. He call himself making a name. I put on the Jets. The coach will regret even letting them stay in the game. Team morale took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just try not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Never slip nor stumble. I take off, poof, magic. Now watch me juke through the traffic. Footwork fantastic. Dominating every facet. Treat the pocket like plastic. Here come the blitz, pass it. Got it on smash. Foot on the gas. I will not crash. Honey, y'all dash. Honey, y'all dash. Honey, y'all dash. Honey, y'all dash. Honey, y'all dash.
I do this for the family. I might just blow my wheel. I'm keeping it so for real. Hooping in that glowing hill. I'm giving they soldier chills. My jewelry code is chill. Stories treacherous. I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. Ripper stuff the edge like I don't know no feel. See the pain deep in my eyes. They know it's real. Yeah, been this way before the deal. Say this one for your photo real. Blessing after testing. I'ma show them skills. You ain't gotta tell me. I know I'm ill. Stories treacherous. I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah, how about it? You want it, you have it, you got it. Go snatch it, skirt the lot. Go ahead, jump it, how about it? Rep for your bro. Where your post, your pop, and your projects. Pain driven, itching, drumming. Look how far we coming. Heartbeat for the streets. You can do it. Ain't built for the weekend. Sweet, this sugar. One man on me, but get deep. Watch what you doing. I ain't damaged goods. Damn it out the clay. You wish you could.